Hi, this is Sharon Franklin with United Jewish Federation's PJ Library, and today I'm going to read you a story called Pavel and the Tree Army by Heidi Smith Hyde and illustrated by Alyssa Vivori. It's a story of the Tree Army, and it is Veterans Day this Wednesday in a couple days, and we want to thank everybody who has fought for our country and who are currently fighting for our country. So we're going to read this story to honor them. Pavel stood in line with hundreds of other hungry people, hoping for a scrap of bread or a warm bowl of soup. Times were hard. Pavel was scouring the city in search of a job, but there were no jobs, especially for immigrants whose English was not very good. On Shabbat, the rabbi said to him, "Pavel, there is a new work program called Civilian Conservation Corps. Young men like you are being paid to plant trees all over the country in Virginia, Montana, Oklahoma." Pavel brightened. "I could plant trees for America." There he is talking to the rabbi. A month later, Pavel arrived in Idaho, a dry, dusty land dotted with wheat fields and farmhouses. It couldn't have looked more different from New York City. "Look, Pavel, no bread line stretching around the block," said his friend Antony. And they stepped off the train and into a world of quiet. Pavel gripped his satchel. "Will we really get 3 meals a day?" he marveled, thinking about the many nights he and his sisters had gone to bed hungry. Antony nodded. "That's what they say, and with the money we earn, our families can eat too." They made their way to the camp where the workers were living. Pavel met men from all over the country: Otis from Oklahoma, Wilbur from Kansas, Lester from Louisiana, Giovanni from Illinois, and Homer from Maine. "Now, oh, you and your friend don't sound like you're from around here," sneered Otis, whose cot was next to Pavel's. "Antony and I were born in Russia, but we are Americans now," said Pavel proudly. "Y'all don't sound like Americans," drawled Lester. "Don't mind them, Pavel," Antony whispered. "We are just as American as they are." The workers piled into a truck and drove to a nearby field. "Welcome to the Civilian Conservation Corps," said Sergeant Sterling. "For the next few months, you will clear brush, plant young trees, and build roads and dams. Your job is to help make America beautiful." "But I don't know how to plant trees," murmured Pavel. "Don't worry, Pavel. We will learn," said Antony. Gazing at the unfamiliar landscape, Pavel wondered if this vast open space would ever feel like home. Grabbing picks and shovels, the men ventured out into the field and set to work. There they all are, all lined up, ready to do their work. Together they dug and planted and packed and watered. You can see the little tree that they planted here. At the end of the day, Pavel gazed at their work. "We did it, Antony. We planted a whole forest of trees," he exclaimed. Suddenly, the land seemed a little less vast or big. You can see all the trees that they planted. He seems very happy and proud. In the mess hall, Pavel feasted on chicken and mashed potatoes, and for dessert, he helped himself to a big slice of apple pie. "This tastes almost as good as my mama's Shabbat chicken," said Antony. "And my mama's chicken cacciatore," said Giovanni with a grin. Giovanni had come to America from Italy. Otis gave them a disdainful or yucky look. "You don't belong in the Civilian Conservation Corps. You're not real Americans. I bet you don't even know America's national anthem." Pavel stared at him blankly. Homer jumped in. "It's called the Star-Spangled Banner, and Congress just made it our national song. All real Americans can sing the national anthem," said Otis with a smirk, or not a nice look. "Can you?" Pavel and his friends exchanged worried glances. We don't know, but we can learn it, said Antony with determination. I'll teach you, whispered Homer. The next morning, the sergeant gave the workers their next assignment. Sometimes when it rains, the river's banks overflow. Your job is to build a dam to prevent the land from flooding so it remains good for planting. But I don't know how to build a dam, Giovanni murmured. Don't worry, Giovanni, Pavel told him, putting him on the back. We will learn. Together they dug trenches and cut timber and gathered rocks. Looks like they're building their dam. At night, they camped on the bank of the river and shared stories around the fire. In the barracks, Pavel and his friends struggled to learn the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. Homer helped them practice. These English words are too hard. I can't do it, said Antony. These English words are just too hard. Maybe Otis is right. Maybe we're not real Americans, sighed Giovanni. We must keep trying, said Pavel. If we can learn to build a dam, we can learn the national anthem. On the last Friday of the month, the workers got their pay. This will be enough to buy new shoes for my sister and a chicken for Shabbat dinner, said Pavel. Here he's looking at his pay and thinking about his family. That night, Otis and Lester went to the movies. Giovanni went dancing, and Pavel and Antony rested from the hard week's work, singing Shabbat songs from home. One summer morning, Sergeant Sterling announced, next week we will have a 4th of July picnic. The camp was abuzz with excitement. What is so special about the 4th of July, Pavel asked. It's Independence Day, the day we celebrate our freedom, answered Wilbur. It reminds us of how lucky we are to be Americans. On the 4th of July, the men put away their tools and celebrated the holiday. Sergeant Sterling came over to Pavel and Antony. You and the others have helped make this land beautiful. America is proud of you. So there's the sergeant talking to them. Pavel looked at him doubtfully. Some of the men say we aren't real Americans because we were not born here, he said. The sergeant thought for a moment. Then he pointed to the grove of young trees in the distance. It will take time for the saplings you planted to take root, but they are now part of this land, and so are you. That night, everyone gathered at the lake to sing the new national anthem and watch a fireworks display. Are you ready? Pavel asked his friends. I think so, said Giovanni. We are, said Antony. They stood at attention and put their hands over their hearts. In clear, confident voices, they joined in singing the Star-Spangled Banner from beginning to end. Everyone cheered as red, white, and blue fireworks exploded in the sky. I am an American, whispered Pavel proudly. This is a beautiful story of people doing civic work for their country, and so we honor them during Veterans Day on this Wednesday, and also the pride that you can take in becoming an American and being an American and accepting others who are new to the country. Thank you for joining us.